All right, shalom. First and foremost, gonna give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. All right, and just finna get into this quick lesson. All right, basically, this, the spirit been heavy on, suffering. All right, the bitterness of this truth. All right, yeah, man, that's what comes with it. It's like I got hiccups right now. But that's what comes with it. Suffering. All right, bitterness. And, I was thinking about this at work today, and I'm home now, and this precept, was in my head while I was thinking about it, But here we're gonna start off in Sirach 6 and verse 23. It says, "Give ear, my son, receive my advice, and refuse not my counsel." All right. And what's the counsel of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, or the Lord? The prophets. All right, I'm gonna get that real quick. Proverbs. I'm getting just Proverbs 1. Proverbs 1 and verse 20. Wisdom crieth without, she uttered her voice in the streets. All right, who's this wisdom crying out? The prophets. All right. It says she uttered her voice in the streets. All right. They're doing what Yahweh Shai commanding them to do. To go out there on the highways and byways. All right. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the opening of the gates, in the city, she uttered her words, saying, "How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity, and the scorners delight in the scorning, and fools hate knowledge." So see, the men of the Lord, the prophets, all right, they're calling out to the, to so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, telling you, hey, you gotta come back, you gotta stop loving, this simple shit. Come back to power. Come back to the true, the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. All right. It says, so yeah, the Lord, trying to, get a nigga. All right. He trying to get, he trying to, bring you in. Because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded, but ye have set at not all my counsel and with none of my reproof. All right, so this is the counsel of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. All right, this is going into somebody that didn't want to listen to the counsel. All right, but that Sirach 6, it's talking about what it say? Give ear, my son. It says, so this is the first part, you give ear, you listen, all right? Then next thing you know, the Lord pulls you in, you start believing, all right? But it says, give ear, my son, receive my advice, and refuse not my counsel, all right? Because, you see the punishment, all right? If you keep on reading that Proverbs 1, the Lord going to bring your biggest fear upon you. But, this is, Sirach 6 and 23. This is somebody that's, just seeing the first time seeing the video, first time popping up at a camp, But it says, and put thy feet into her fetters and thy neck into her chain. See, you start believing, all right? But guess what? There comes, next thing you know, you're bound to this, all right? It requires a lifestyle change, all right? It requires you going through things, all right? Apostle Paul called himself a prisoner of the Lord. Why? Because, hey, we got constant work to do, all right? Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is constantly on our mind, within every little thing we do, because, hey, in this world, you didn't have nothing, you was a Christian, all right? Guess what? You wasn't thinking about the Lord in every action you was doing. You wasn't held up to no accountability. All right. But here in this truth, hey, you're held to these scriptures. All right. You say you believe, you calling on the name of the Lord. Hey, guess what? You read a scripture. All right. You read something new. All right. In the scripture. All right. And the Spirit, the Lord, brings it to remembrance of something that you did that was contrary to the scripture, or something that you are doing that's contrary to that scripture that you just, your first time ever reading. You gotta, now you gotta change your ways. Something that was natural for you to be doing. You gotta change that natural thing. All right, that's why Yahweh Shai, he said you gotta come to him, as a matter of fact. Let's get that real quick. Let's get that. Matthew 18 and verse 1. At the same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Yahushua called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. All right. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as a little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So see, we gotta be as little children. All right. And what is a little child? What's the attributes of a child? You tell them, because if you tell an old nigga something, you could be, you could tell an old nigga something, from off of experience. But hey, you tell them, hey, don't do this because, I done it too, blah, blah, blah. They won't learn. All right. They don't want to hear what you're saying. But, a little child, hey, they'll listen. All right. They'll inquire what got to say. All right. And, they'll watch out. All right. And being a little child, hey, you're still learning. All right. You gotta humble yourself as a little child. All right. Basically, you gotta unlearn the shit that you learn in this world. All right. And learn the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right. And, it could be, something, to this flesh, it might feel uncomfortable. All right. But hey, if you want that crown, all right, you want to be delivered, all right, hey, you got to do that, But yeah, man, what comes with this truth is work, constant work, But it says, verse 25, bow down thy shoulder and bear her and be not grieved with her bonds. So yeah, man, the things that come with this truth, you can't be grieved with it. You can't want to give up, all right? You don't want to be an Israelite no more, because people don't like you. Nah, you can't do shit like that. Yeah, let's get this. Sirach 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time. And make not haste. I'm pretty sure it said make not haste in the time of trouble right there. All right, but yeah, man. See, that's what, coming to know that you're an Israelite and changing your ways from the ways of this world, you're gonna be tempted. All right, it ain't gonna be a cakewalk. Let's get this real quick. Isaiah 59 verse 15. Yeah, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. So see, all right, you coming to serve the Lord, you're departing yourself from evil now. And guess what? You're a prey out here to these demons, all right? To Satan. All right, these demons can hop on, anybody, your family member, all right? Your loved ones, family members, getting on you about, oh, why you don't like pork, some bullshit like that, Oh, you say you could have multiple wives? Oh, you saying you want to date my daughter, you could have multiple wives? Or especially in GMS, You know, you say y'all could rape people. You know, shit like that. Hey, shit like that is bound to happen. All right. So you gotta deal with it. You know, this is what comes with serving y'all by Shema Shah. All right, but it said while all that's going on, set thy heart aright. All right, so first off, you gotta get your mind right. Understand that this is going to happen. All right, and constantly endure. So constantly endure. All right. Perfect. Let me see something. To undergo or suffer. So constantly suffer. All right. What it say right here? Make hard, harden, bear, tolerate, keep up, maintain. Yeah. And that's how that's what the Lord do. He keeps you up. All right. He maintains you. All right. So you don't be no soft ass nigga in the truth. All right. Because the times to come, we're not coming into the times where it's going to be okay to be soft. If you soft, you're going to be through, So guess what? The Lord's going to constantly, put you to the test. All right. He's going to constantly make you hard through suffering. All right. So we got to constantly suffer. Why? So we could be ready in the times to come. All right. See, niggas don't understand that, this truth is, the Lord designed this truth perfectly. All right. This word is perfect. All right. Everything happens for a reason. All right. And niggas don't know that, Niggas think, ever since I became a Hebrew Israelite, people don't like me no more. So therefore, I'm gonna stop being a Hebrew Israelite. Nigga don't know, That's what comes with it, all right? But guess what? The elect, we know. Lord, when I'm part of that number, all right, we know. We know that, we gotta suffer. Why? So we can be, good in the times to come. All right, the times to come. Jacob's trouble is a time like never before. All right, if a time like never before is coming, do you think we got the the room to be soft? Nah, hell no. All right. The Lord, it said that he's a man of war. All right, and if you're gonna be serving him, you think you're gonna be a whole ass nigga? No. Here, I'm gonna keep on reading. Sirach 2 and verse 3, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. See? So we gotta cleave unto Yahweh Bashim Shah. All right, how you do that? Constantly watching videos. It's constantly praying. All right, constantly watching videos. Reading. All right. It says, and depart not away. So yeah, man, you suffering. Hey, don't depart. All right, don't depart from the Lord when you suffer. When you start going through it, don't stop being a Hebrew Israelite. All right. But do what? Cleave unto him, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. All right, and we're coming to the end of a whole age, a whole rulership. So we want the Lord to put crown upon us. All right. We want to be exalted in that day, under Yahweh Shema Shah, of course. All right. We want to be, when our name is brought up, we want, you want, when your name is brought up, you want a certain thought to pop up, in certain in individuals' heads. Like, okay, he he was striving for this truth. He didn't give up on Yahweh Shema Shah, He was a faithful servant. Verse 4, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. Patient just means suffering. Let me see. patient. Come on now. Well, I mean, the other one was good too. It says quality of being willing to bear adversities. Oh, shit. So you got to be willing. Hey, in this truth, you got to understand that adversity is going to come. I always have it in my mind, I constantly have it in my mind. I'm preparing my mind, as the Sirach 2 said, set thy heart aright. Constantly preparing my mind for something, that the Lord might put me through, just to make me hard, And that's the beautiful thing about the scripture, see? But if you're not rooted, in Yahweh Shai, you won't know that, It says calm endurance of misfortune, suffering, see? So, hey, just another word for suffering, all right? Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. Why? Because you understand that the Lord deals with you. He's dealing, all right? And be patient with our change to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Ooh, so see, that's how the Lord deal, He don't, hey, the times to come, he's going to prove everybody, with the adversity, right now, we go through little shit, but hey, we're coming to some real times. All right, real times to really test our faith. All right, and that's how he's gonna, that's how it's gonna be made known who his elect is. All right, the ones that, hey, they've been put through the adversity. All right, they seen their, their children die in front of their faces, but guess what? They didn't denounce the Lord. All right, they seen their, woman get put to death. All right, guess what? They ain't denounced the Lord. All right. They ain't eat for a couple of days. Guess what? They still called on the name of Yahweh Shai. All right. That's how you're gonna know who's the elect. And hey, that's why you gotta constantly, put that into your head that you're gonna suffer. All right, especially in the times to come. All right, or you're gonna be tried. All right, the Lord's gonna test all of us. But guess what? He said that he's not gonna test us, to the. Let me see. It's not there in my head. It's like here. Basically, he's not gonna put. He knows how much to put on us to where it's gonna test us, but it ain't gonna make us break. The Lord knows all that. But all we got to do is just keep on serving him, do his work, pray to him constantly, all right? And yeah, the Lord going to be with us, all right? Change your ways, all right? All that. And constantly calling on his name, all right? Because that name is important, all right? And you gotta put into your head the times to come, you're going to be in, you're going to be in situations that you're going to need a miracle, all right? You got to constantly put that in your head. Like, I know I'm going to end up, running from something or whatever, but I'm going to need the Lord's miracles. I'm going to need the Lord to be with me. I'm going to need the Lord to deliver me. You got to constantly put that in your head. So when that time come, hey, you're calling on the name of Yahweh Shai, Here, I'm going to read verse 4 again. It says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. So, yeah, man, you got to be patient. You got to suffer. You got to suffer through that low estate that you're in. All right? However it is for you, whatever's going on. All right? In your daily life, all right? You feel, you're feeling at the bottom. Like, like whatever. All right, Lord, the Lord not dealing with me. And guess what? You still fight, I barely got any money every week. Guess what? You got to keep on fighting, all right? So suffering comes with the truth, all right? But it says, Sirach 6 and verse 26, Come unto her with thy whole heart, and keep her ways with all thy power. See, with all thy might, Search and seek, and she shall be made known unto thee. And when thou hast got hold of her, let her not go. All right. And you search and seek how? First off, you pray to the Lord to increase your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures. All right. And then you seek. All right. You constantly watching the videos. All right. Constantly reading. All right. And guess what? And she shall be made known unto thee. All right. Certain breakdowns. All right. It's going to be made known unto thee, Salakia. All right. And when thou hast got hold of her, let her not go. All right. For at the last thou shalt find her rest, and that shall be turned to thy joy. See, at the last. All right. We're coming into the last of this man's kingdom. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right. The time is up. Time is. Well, I ain't gonna say time is up. All right, but it damn near is though, to where the prophets say we gonna be off these streets soon. And basically it's gonna be just judgment. All right, judgment. Niggas getting smoked left and right. All right, screams. All right, dead bodies all over the streets. All right, this is what's coming. It says, then shall her fetters be a strong defense for thee, and her chains a robe of glory. So see, all the, the, the suffering, all right, the us being prisoners, all right, to Yahweh Shema Shah, guess what? It's going to be a strong defense in that day. Why? Because it's going to be our stability in that day. Telegram. All right. This is what's coming. All right. And if you can't accept the bitterness or the suffering right now, you're not going to be able to accept you're not going to be able to go through, the suffering to come. Here, I'm going to end it off on this. Zechariah 13 and verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. 2/3 of our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, niggas gonna die here. All right, here in America. All right, it's gonna be a lot of niggas that was so-called, or not so-called, but niggas that knew that they was Israelites. All right, niggas that gave up on this truth. All right. Niggas gonna die here, all right? But it says, and I will bring the third part. Who's this third? This the 1/3. This the elect right here. Through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. So see, the Lord is he's gonna make us. He's gonna test us. He's gonna put us through adversity in that day. All right. Why? To prove us. All right. To get all that, impurity, all the bad shit that he don't want in us, he's gonna take it out of us in that day. All right, to be really be all about him, and will try them as gold is tried, and they shall call on my name, see, and I will hear them. Ooh, see, the Lord gonna call on, or so like it, we're gonna call on his name, Lord, when I'm part of that number again, when they're, when we're getting put through that adversity, hey, guess what? We're going to call on the name of the Lord. All right. The true names, Yahweh, Yahweh Shah. Those are the true names. That's who the world ignorantly calls God. Goddamn. And, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. All right. Yahweh. All right. And Yahweh Shah. Those are the true names. Those are the true names, all right? They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power. Ooh, see? All right? So, hey, suffering is part of this truth, Suffering is this truth, If you ain't suffering, you're not in this truth. You know, you gotta check yourself, you know. But that was pretty much it. So Lord willing, you know, this lesson was edifying. Gonna give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Hakodash. Abba honor to the apostle and elders, great millstone. All right, shalom.